GT Countdown. The top 10 most anticipated games of E3 2012.
With E3 2012 coming up quickly, anticipation is in no short supply here at GameTrailers. Naming the games we want to see is easy, but picking the top 10 of the bunch is always a little tricky. If we could only experience 10 games from the entire show, what would they be? This is the question that we're answering with this feature. We've omitted games that we don't expect to make an appearance, so if your number one pick isn't on the list, that's likely why. And now we present you the creme de la creme of E3 2012.
Number 10. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
His part meat, part machine body makes it obvious that Raiden has been through some hard times, and the same can be said for the development of his game. A lack of focus almost necessitated that it be cancelled, prompting Hideo Kojima to call in Platinum Games in hopes of saving the project. While we've seen glimpses of the action-dominated gameplay and over-the-top tone, we've been holding out for a proper field test to calibrate our expectations. And it looks like E3 2012 is going to be the place. By the time we leave the show floor, we should have a good indication of whether Raiden's blade will be sharp enough to cut through all the clutter at the show.
Number 9.
Don't let them stop us! Shoot at him!
Metro: Last Flight.
With its stunning graphics, bullet scavenging, and crank-powered equipment, Metro 2033 was a cult favorite in 2010, despite some nagging faults. With more time in development, we fully expect Last Light to overcome the original shortcomings and expand on its mastery of atmosphere. Every aspect of the game is infused with a deep sense of vulnerability as you explore the tunnels with patched-together equipment, desperately struggling to survive in the face of countless soldiers and mutated monstrosities. The team at 4A Games has kept quiet since its stunning debut at last year's E3, and we're as pumped as a pneumatic rifle to see it again.
Good luck, Akio!
Number 8. Hitman: Absolution.
Though it's been too long since we last saw Agent 47 and his clockwork expertise in the blood money trade, Hitman: Absolution marks the awaited return of the bar-coded assassin. True to its sandbox nature, missions will throw players into morbid playgrounds where creativity and elaborate planning trumps unprepared recklessness and scripted sequences. It's one of the last remaining franchises that allows you to play it however you want, and we can't wait to see just how flexible and creative the killing can get. The new Instinct system adds new capacities to 47's lethal repertoire, like sensing nearby enemies and avoiding detection while disguised. Our favorite Hitman is deadlier than ever, and his cover will be blown at E3 2012.
Number 7. God of War: Ascension.
Sony Santa Monica recently surprised us, revealing multiplayer in the new God of War, with teams competing to mutilate a colossal Cyclops. However, we're still waiting to get our first taste of its campaign, and the undoubtedly sublime visuals to come. God of War 3's scale is second to none, so we can't wait to see if Ascension can live up to its name and top it. New weapons and a better sense of the story won't hurt either.
Number 6. Halo 4.
It would seem that the fight's been finished more times than we could count at this point, but when duty calls, you can leave it to the Chief and Cortana to drag us right back onto the front lines. Teasing the cryptic kickoff point for the so-called Reclaimer saga, Halo 4 ushers in a brand new trilogy on the Xbox 360, styled in a gritty sandbox feel that's said to be reminiscent of Combat Evolved. A thematic focus on the Spartan's own personal tale will bring some dramatic weight to this low-gravity space opera, while a gameplay emphasis featuring a mysterious Forerunner planet will have players hurtling towards unknown frontiers. And with the series torch passed down from Bungie to 343 Industries, we'll be eager to see if the new stewards of the franchise can successfully write the next chapter of the Chief's epic journey.
Number 5. Resident Evil 6.
The major concern with each new Resident Evil is, what type of game will it be? Are we going back to ammo-starved survival tactics of the past, introducing new characters, or riding the action-heavy roller coaster the series has become? Number 6 seems to be all three in one. Resident Evil 5's trailers had us hook, line, and sinker too, and we were ultimately a little disappointed, so we're still approaching with caution. Even so, it's hard not to let our pulses race thanks to the gameplay advancements already shown, and while 3 different campaigns seems illogical, we can't wait to see how it plays out. Could both sides of the RE fanbase possibly be pleased by the same product? Hopefully this mutated RE breaks out of the shackles of Spencer, Wesker, and Umbrella to run wild.
Resident Evil 6.
Number 4. The Last of Us.
The folks over at Naughty Dog aren't content with resting on their laurels, so after wrapping up the Uncharted series for the time being, they're trying their hand at something none of us saw coming. The Last of Us takes us into a post-apocalyptic world, fighting for our lives against not only a virus that has created mutated freaks, but the dark side of the human psyche born from the fallout. We've seen only a few brief glimpses of Joel and Ellie's struggle against infected monsters and crazed survivors. But the imagery raises the possibility of the developer filling the survival horror void others have failed to address.
Number 3. Assassin's Creed 3.
Hopping along the timeline of history is written into the DNA of the Assassin's Creed series, but we're wagering this installment will bring with it the most impactful changes yet. This time, the war between the Assassins and Templars takes place amidst the backdrop of the American Revolution. Needless to say, a lot happened in the intervening centuries between Ezio's Italian Renaissance and America's independence. How will the period's weaponry factor into the gameplay? On what sides of the conflict do specific key figures in American history fight on? What will pre-colonial Boston and New York look like? What kind of gameplay will we encounter in the great American frontier? Assassin's Creed 3 has more mystery than answers, making the wait almost unbearable.
Number 2. Tomb Raider.
Cutting all ties from Tomb Raider's 15-year legacy, this reboot has set out to deliver Miss Croft into a more raw, savage, and vibrant space, an island where secrets, shipwrecks, and survival cozy up. This origin story was debuted at last year's E3 as the demo showed a bloodied young woman scurrying for her very life, babbling reassurance to herself in hushed gulps, not snarky quips.
What did he do to you?
In under 6 minutes, Fire and Water became Lara's co-stars as her public visage was reborn in these primordial elements. It's kept us in thrall ever since, something we'd never expect Tomb Raider to ever do again.
Number 1. Wii U.
We can't really pick one single game that we'd want to see on the Wii U because confirmations have been scarce. What we do know is that we'll finally get to see what Nintendo's new hardware is capable of from both a technological and gameplay perspective. The publisher has been coy about system specs thus far, but as they say, the proof is in the pudding. This proof will be born out of its software demos and the visuals that they put forth. So while we're not naming a specific game here, we're most excited to check out its entire lineup to get an understanding of what we'll be playing come launch day. If there's one product we simply have to see at E3 2012, it's the Wii U. Stay tuned to GameTrailers.com and Spike TV for the most exhaustive coverage of E3 2012 anywhere. With 17 hours of live coverage broadcasting across television and our live streams beginning Monday, June 4th at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, you'll see every press conference, game demo, and interview that matters first, free, and in HD. Our primetime E3 All Access Live special on Spike TV Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern is loaded with so many exclusives that you simply cannot miss it. And don't forget our around-the-clock on-site coverage that produces over 1,000 videos in just a few days. There's no need to go anywhere else. GT and Spike TV will satisfy all your E3 2012 needs.